Hello everybody, Flik here and welcome to a Let's Look At of FTL, Faster Than Light. Now this is a bit of a weird one because FTL is not a new game. As you can see along the bottom there, it came out in 2012 by Subset Games. I love it a lot though, so I was looking for any excuse to include it in my First Impressions series. Although it's obviously not First Impressions because I've put in like 50 hours, but let's ignore that. The excuse I have for covering it now is that as of last week, FTL was updated with the Advanced Edition free content patch, which added a host of new things that I'll get into as we actually go into exploring the game. They did this for free on PC for anybody who already owns the game on Steam, and if you buy the game on Steam after the fact, you will get the Advanced Edition included in it. They did this to celebrate the release of the game on iPad, so if you don't want it on PC, I've heard good things about it transferring to iPad very well. I haven't played it personally, but the game itself I have played a lot of. I'm very familiar with it, I like it a lot, and I'm really happy to be doing a video on it finally. So it was one of the very first games to come from a successful Kickstarter route, I think, as far as indie games go. So it set the trend, I think. Maybe not necessarily for the best, given how many failures there's been on Kickstarter, but this was certainly one of the best to come from that kind of route. And if you don't know, it's a spaceship sim, a space sim where you have randomized events, you have roguelike elements, I suppose, is a way to think about it. You have to manage your ship, you have to manage your crew. You have to think of it like the Death Star plans. You've got the Death Star plans on board your ship. You're escaping a rebel alliance who's actually the stronger evil force in the world of FTL. And you're trying to get back to your Federation, the last surviving bastion of your Federation space, to expose the details of the enemy flagship and then also fight the flagship. And if we go to new game here, if you're already very familiar with FTL, you'll probably already be seeing quite a few changes added in the Advanced Edition just in the very menus alone, although you can disable all the content if you don't like it, or if you want, as it says here, the default FTL experience. So this is the default ship you start the game with. You can unlock alternative layouts, including new sea layouts as part of the Advanced Edition content. You can also unlock different ships. They come with different standard loadouts, different crew setups, different weaponry, different subsystems. And along with everything else the Advanced Edition has added, it's also added a new race, and with the new race comes a new ship. Now I unlocked it straight away as soon as I loaded up the game upon getting the Advanced Edition patch. So I'm not entirely sure what criteria you need to do to get it, but they are, what are they called? They're called the Lanius. They drain the oxygen of any area they're in, but also don't require oxygen to live, so they can technically starve a ship of oxygen, although they give you a human, I think, so you can't have the whole thing without oxygen. But we'll see. And I haven't unlocked the B ship of that. We can actually see the full list of ships. They've also added alternative methods of unlocking the harder to get ships, like for example, I won't go into detail, but what that one is and what that one is. And you can also use alternative methods to unlock new types as well. So as you can see, although I've been playing it a lot, I haven't exactly unlocked a lot. It's because I'm not very good at it. FTL is an exceptionally hard game even on easy, to be blunt. It's not technically about winning necessarily. It could be seen as you're trying to get your best score, and I do have quite a few high scores. I don't think I can leave this menu without picking a ship. I'll just pick the default one. And there's also in-game achievements that can unlock alternative layouts as opposed to just kind of like winning the game with certain layouts. So I won't bother customizing my crew or the ship name, I think, because I just want to get straight into what the game plays like in case anyone is not familiar. Because I mean, it has been out for 2 years now and maybe it's fallen on the wayside, but before we even get into watching me play this game, I will say that FTL is fantastic. And I highly recommend it. It's also very cheap, so there's no harm. While I play as the new ship, I'm not very good at the new ship, but it does have a few of the new features added in the Advanced Edition, so since that's primarily the excuse I'm using for covering FTL, I guess we'll play as the Lanius ship. Now you might notice, those of you who are familiar with FTL, that there's no med bay on the Lanius ship. That's because they have a clone bay instead, which takes the place of a med bay. It gives you a passive heal, I think it's like 5 HP per jump. And anytime any of your crew die, they just respawn here with a slight penalty to experience that they've gained from manning their particular system. They also have a hacking tool, which we'll get into using. And I guess I don't have the B layer for this ship. Nope, so I guess we'll just get started. I'm playing on easy because, as I say, I'm not very good at this game. The game is very punishing, and we'll get started. So the data we carry is vital to the remaining Federation fleet. You'll need supplies for the journey. Make sure you explore each sector before moving on to the next, but get to the exit before the pursuing rebel fleet can catch up. And there we go. And we are just started there. So do I want to do anything organization wise before we start doing an FTL jump? I don't think I do. Well, I can power up my weapons, I suppose. So we get, what do we get here? Ah, it's a new type of laser. It's a chain laser. It fires faster the more often it fires, and there's a host of new weapons in the game. There's scrap throwers, there's ion pulsars that can like charge up a huge shot. In fact, is that one of them there? No, that's a different one. This locks out people from systems and also stuns anybody inside the systems, although I don't have enough power to activate it, so I'm probably going to need to work on that. And as I said, they do have the hacking tool. I believe that uses up drones from memory. But we'll see, and we do start with some scrap. Scrap is what you use to purchase things and to upgrade your ship. Your crew just upgrades from doing things at their workstations. You need to have a pilot, that's the very minimum you need. But I've got a Lanius in the engine room, so that means I have a base evasion of 15 instead of 5, I believe. Let me just test. Oh no, he only adds a 5% bonus at first, but when he ranks up it'll be more. And if you have someone manning the weapons room, your weapons recharge faster. So will I spend anything immediately? No, I will hold on to my power for now and we'll do the first jump. You get a randomised map, you also get a randomised star map once you do make it to an exit and get to pick which sector you visit next. The general idea is you want to visit as many places as you can to collect as much scrap as you can to make sure your ship is as upgraded as possible by the time you do eventually face the enemy flagship. But the longer you linger in a sector, the more chance there is of the rebel fleet catching up with you, and you'll see them as a big red bar on this side kind of coming towards you. You can do things to slow them down as well. For example, going in nebulas, slow them down. But I don't like fighting in nebulas because they sometimes drain your power and whatnot. We'll visit this location, see what happens. Oh, it's a sun, that's even worse. Fantastic. This beacon has been placed too close to a supergiant Class M star. The ship will gradually overheat until you get out of here, or die. A pirate, apparently oblivious to the danger of the sun, moves in to engage, so we're going to get into a fight and immediately we're going to pause so we can have a little look at what we're dealing with here. It's a pirate ship. It looks like they've got a stunning weapon as well. They've also got a rocket launcher, which is super bad. They only have 1 bar of shield, so do I. So that means my chain laser should get through easily because it fires twice per turn. We're going to concentrate on firing at the lasers first. You can turn on auto fire so that it just keeps on firing. I'm going to do that because it is just a standard weapon. Generally, if you have a rocket based weapon, you don't want to have auto fire on because rockets are rare. I mean, I have 3 of them for instance. You have to pick and choose when you use them. What we will do though is also use hacking. And I think I'm going to fire the hacking tool at their weapons because I really want to try and disrupt them firing a missile at me. And we'll unpause, and actually before I unpause, one new feature in the Advanced Edition that is probably the best thing they have added. You can save crew positions so that if you move them around to deal with stuff happening, then you can just go back to your saved location. That is a fantastic addition. It's such a little thing, but it's so amazing. Oh yeah, and the environmental dangers, every so often there will be a solar pulse and it'll cause a random fire in my ship. Now, because the Lanius don't need oxygen, what I am going to do is prematurely flood my ship, or not flood my ship, exhaust my ship of all the oxygen apart from where the human is, because he does need oxygen. Therefore, fire shouldn't be able to spread, in theory, because there's no oxygen. Oh, here comes his lasers. The rocket goes through shields, by the way. And there's the first shot from mine. Oh yeah, I have to activate the hack. I totally forgot about that. Oh, I didn't do it soon enough. He fired another rocket. Damn it. That caused a hull breach, which is annoying. Let's get him to repair it. And here comes the first solar pulse. Ah, please don't kill us. We'll give you everything we have. That's not really a lot, is it? It's 4 fuel. Oh yeah, they've changed this interface so you can actually see pictures of what you get rather than having it listed out in words. For newcomers, that might be a bit of a problem because you'll have to get used to what each icon means. But for the veteran, it's probably a massive plus. And I think if you turn off advanced content, it'll go back to the way it was. Do I want to accept their offer? No surrender. Oh, the fire's still started, but there's no oxygen, so that will starve the fires and they will go out pretty fast. What I don't like is running into someone with a rocket straight away. That is murder. Yeah, we got slightly more rewards by actually scrapping them. Right, so our shields are down. He's going to have to go repair that, but we are going to quickly leave before another pulse sets fire to something else. So we're not going to have any shields when we get to where we're going. A distress signal... distress signals usually end up being bad. We'll visit it anyway. I don't stand much chance of winning. I'm certainly not going to get particularly far, because a full game of FTL can take upwards of an hour. You arrive at a distress beacon near a small asteroid belt and find a ship with pirate markings partially crushed between 2 large rocks. You must have been illegally mining the belt without proper equipment. So now I have a choice of what I can do. Anytime you see a blue option, it's because you have a certain crew member of a certain race, or a certain weapon, or a certain subsystem where you have been given the advantage. Think of it like in RPG terms, like say Dragon Age or whatever, if you have a certain skill. So I can either try and dislodge the ship by shooting at it, or destroy and loot the ship. I'm just going to loot the ship because they're pirates, and pirates are dicks. Oh crap, that means I have to fight it. Damn. Okay, here we go again. And the shields are not back online yet, which is really bad. So what I'm going to do is hack their weaponry. And then I'm also going to shoot their shields to get rid of it. In fact, no, I'm going to concentrate purely on shooting their... They've got a rocket launcher as well. That is... I can't overstate how bad luck it is to run into 2 ships in a row that both have rocket launchers. And we're going to hack their weaponry straight away. You see that? Their charge bars go all the way back down for the duration of the hack. I've only got tier 1 hack though, so it's not exactly amazing. Bring the shields back up, please. Come on, almost. The Lanius aren't very good at repairing, I'm noticing. There we go, the shields are back up. And it's a fire again, fantastic. It's a good job my ship still has pretty much no oxygen. And we're going to hack again in a second. We're going to do that. Then we're going to shoot at their shields. Notice that the weapon is getting ever so slightly faster every time it fires. It's going to go to +3 now. And the bar goes down because it can fire faster. Right, we've won this one because their weapons are disabled, their shields are down. I don't like how much hull damage I've taken. You are considerably more well armed than I would have thought. We surrender. Let me just think about this for a second here. We will not accept surrender. You shouldn't have fought me, pirates. You did this to yourself. And they're dead. Oh, excuse my phone in the background. Apologies. That's more like it. Although we got less fuel and less drone parts, we got more scrap. And I probably want more scrap at this point in the game. We'll close all our doors now to let oxygen back in case our human pilot needs to go to the toilet or something. And I suppose we could spend some scrap, but let me just check there isn't a store. Ah, and here comes the rebel fleet. Right, there's no store nearby, so I could probably do some upgrading at this point. I want to be able to use both my weapons at once, so I'm going to upgrade to get an extra weapon slot. That'll give me enough, but I also need an additional bar of power, so I'll do that. And my evasion is terrible. I'm surprised the Lanius ship starts with such low evasion. I'm going to put it into shields instead because I consider more bars of shield more important. Even though I don't have enough bars to actually get a full bar of shield, that additional bar there, even if it's not powered, is a godsend because if a rocket or say a shot gets through my shields, it won't necessarily bring down my shield straight away because it'll get rid of the empty bar first. You may not understand what I've just said, but trust me. Also, I just realised the stunner only needs 1 power, so I just wasted an upgrade. But still, we will now get to see what the stunner does when I next run into an enemy ship, if nothing else. Right, so here come the rebels. Let's go to this. Also, they've added in the Advanced Edition that when you hover over a point you haven't been to, you can see which points that linked to. Because every so often there was sometimes gaps where you thought, like for example, in some systems, that length of gap isn't actually jumpable. Just because of the way that the map's been randomized. So it's really great that you can hover over a point now and see where you want to go. So I think we're going to go to here. We don't need to rush too much. The rebel fleet doesn't catch up too fast unless you get an event sort of like this where you run into a rebel. They may try to flee, and if they get away, the rebel fleet speeds up because he's told them where we are. So let's see. Alright, they're not trying to run straight away, so they are actually looking for a fight. That's actually good. I'm going to disable their weapons again with my hack. What does the stunner do again? Drains and locks systems. Right, so if I lock them out of their shields and then damage their shields like this, that means they can't get in to repair them. Although actually, maybe I want to do that to their weapons first. No, I'll leave it like this and see how it goes. So there's the hack. Oh, and we get to see that they've got someone manning their weapons. I'm waiting until their bars are almost filled and then drain the bars. No shots for you. Oh, the ion stunner missed. Fantastic. Aha, but I got the shields down. So in that case I'm going to fire the ion stunner at... Oh, I can't because they just took out my weapons. God damn. I've only got my chain laser and it barely survived. Destroy them. And now I have enough power left in my weapons to bring the stunner back up. The hack also locks the doors, by the way, so that's why that NPC was shooting at the door. He had to shoot his own ship to get out. And they just took out my shields now. That is not good. Let's hack their weapons again. A couple more volleys will be enough. that's not enough. We will not accept surrender. Oh, he's almost dead. And he got stunned by the blast. See, that's the downside to not having a medbay. I can't just send them to get healed. They get healed a little bit every jump, and if they die, yeah, I'll get a new version of him, but he'll have diminished skills. Yeah, I didn't get much more for killing them, really. Right, well, let's get them both repairing so they both get their repair skill up so they're better at it. Crew skills, by the way, you can just hover over any of them. So for example, Swamps here is gaining XP in using the weapon systems on the ship. He's also gaining XP in the repairing, and obviously if he's leveled up his repairing enough, he becomes faster and more efficient. And we'll just press return to your stations. We'll make sure all our doors are closed. They are. We'll power up the ion stunner again. Another distress beacon, huh? So at this point, the Let's Look At is basically degraded into me playing FTL. And that's not a bad thing. I don't have much to say about a game that's came out in 2012, other than obviously saying that I love it so very much. And it's a very particular taste I think you have to have. You definitely have to like this strategic management of your ship and your crew, knowing that the odds are against you. It is not an easy game, as I keep on saying. It is not an easy game. It's more of a score attack in a way. Winning is not necessarily the only thing you need to care about. Getting a good score is not bad. They've also added a hard mode for that, which gives you a 4 times multiplier to your score or something like that. So anyway, let's go on with this event. A small civilian ship flies over as soon as you arrive. You're prepared to fight, but they just inform you that they're out of FTL fuel and can't jump, so I can be nice and give them 3 of my 16 fuel. Let's do that. Oh, they upgraded my reactor by 1 as a reward, so now I have 1 additional bit of fuel. Power rather, to flood into a system as required. You do also have subsystems which don't draw on your main power supply, by the way. Ah, there's a store. Let's go see. Even if I can't buy anything, I might be able to show off some of the new weaponry if they have any for sale. So they're selling some crew, they're selling some drones, and they're selling some upgrades for your ship. Mind control is another new system. I don't like it, personally. I don't think it fits the theme of FTL. It's probably, of the new systems, hacking being the other one, and the clone bay being the last. Mind control I don't like. I think it's tacky. Just personal opinion, don't like it. Crew teleporter was always there, that's so you can launch an attack on the enemy ship by sending over your crew. That's good if you have certain races which are better in melee combat than they are at other things. And drone control lets you actually use the drones. And it comes with a free drone Mark 1, although I don't have enough, I only have 26. Can't even buy an extra crew member for that. What we will do is fix some of the damage. Fix all the damage and get some fuel. There we go. As I say, this is not going to be a winning run. This is more just a run me showing off some of the features of the new version of FTL, or the new content patch. I don't think it's on par with, say, Wrath of the Lamb for Binding of Isaac. I don't think it's added that degree of changes. Yeah, there's new events, there's a new race, etc., but I don't think it's quite as massive as that. That's not a bad thing though, because it's free. It's a free update to a game that was already complete and really well done. So we've detected 2 ships, one chasing the other. Scanners show the pursuer is a pirate, so it's a pirate picking on a civilian ship. We're going to help the civilians. He's got drones. What kind of drone has he got? I've paused to check it out. Right, so that is a drone that defends his ship. If I had missiles, they would basically be rubbish, or useless rather, because that would shoot them down. Although if you have a rocket launcher that fires 2, the first one would get blown up, but the second one would probably get through. I could also use hacking to shut down the defensive drone to let rockets get through, although it's a moot point because I don't have any rockets. We're going to hack their shields this time. I'm going to assume that they have someone manning their guns, so I'm going to fire the stunner at that. I'm also going to fire the chain laser at that because I need to take out, they've got that's like a dual firing laser. I think that might be the only weapon. I don't think that's a weapon. If that's it, oh, the gun shoots down hacking drones as well. Damn it. Okay, scratch that, we're going to stun the drone bay. Did the drone get stunned? No. Oh, their weapons are going down. Oh, it's not getting through the shield, that's why. It doesn't traverse, yeah, okay. So this shot from the chain laser, it took down the drone, it's not moving, it's not lit up, so now we can hack their shields. Gotcha. Hello, Rockman. We'll just wait for you to get your shields back up, shall we? And then we'll take them right back down again! And I'm stunning his weaponry. Yeah, this is going to be an easy win. I'm surprised they haven't started trying to run. There we go. Pirate's done. Okay, contact the civilian ship. Ah, they gave us an additional reward. We got the best outcome. Oh, actually, no, not the best, because sometimes they can give you a free weapon or a free crew member. Although sometimes the civilian ship escapes while you're fighting and you get no additional reward. It's all kind of RNG in the background. Right, so with that, we can upgrade our shields. Again, not quite enough to upgrade power, unfortunately. But once I get one more bar of power, I will be able to give myself a second shield layer. What can we do here? We probably have time to visit all three of those. I'll go through the rest of the sector, have a little look at the sector selection, and then a bit of this. Oh, we have a special option here. Hang on, sorry. Let me just read this because I think this might be new. Once you arrive, your screens light up with warnings. A nearby pirate seems to have advanced hacking tools, and they have tried to shut down your engines. Your crew manages to keep them barely operational when you move into attack. So before moving on, if this was the event happening as normal, I would have 1 bar of engine. Now I only have 1 bar, so that doesn't matter, but if I had more, it would mean that my overall evasion would be much lowered, which makes it easier for them to fight me. But, because I have the new hacking system, it appears I can attempt to counter the remote hacking, and maybe shut down their engines. Let's see. Your hacking system automatically counters the digital assault and you move in to fight the ship. Oh, that's a shame. I would have really liked if there was like a natural D20, let's say, result for that, where you actually take off their engines. But still, protecting my own engines is a start. Hang on a minute, how come I don't have enough power there? Oh, temporarily disabled by enemy or location. So they were going after my engines, but they've somehow managed to drain my hacking anyway. Or did me using the hacking for that event do that? That's not good. Well, they've got a drone anyway, so well, let's just annihilate their weapons. This should not be a hard fight. On easy, you get more scrap than you do on normal, and I think it goes a bit easier on you in the initial sectors also. Oh, that's right. While they have a shield, the ion stunner won't actually get through and do anything. So we'll take out the shields next with my chain laser. The ion stunner will keep on firing at their weapons because I know they'll be putting people in there to repair them. Sure enough, it just got repaired. And oh, he missed, but the shield's still down. Oh, it did actually proc. Good. It's just a matter of waiting now. It's a pity that there's not a fast forward button in this type of situation, but stuff can change very, very quickly. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise that there isn't such a thing. Anyway, one more shot will do it, I think. No wait, the chain laser fires twice, so it's going to have to be one more after this. But they are done. Again, they haven't tried to run, which is different. Although I suppose pirates don't often run. It's more so if you run into rebel ships that they start to run if they're almost dead. Pirate ship destroyed. I got a little bit, well, I got quite a lot of fuel actually. A little bit of scrap. And that's that. And I know I can buy another bar of power and power up my shields fully. So now I have 2 bars of shield up in the corner there. Excellent. Still got a bit of scrap left over. I can upgrade the engines a little bit just to protect them, I suppose. Move on to the next one, see what happens here. You arrive at a populated sector. One merchant seems to be mass broadcasting a request for a mercenary ship to aid him. Shall we respond? Sure. Great, I was worried no one would respond. My usual carrier is days late. I need you to deliver this cargo of drone parts to a small station a few jumps from here. We can't afford to pay another courier, but they will surely tip you generously. Sure. Then they give me the 5 drone parts to take, although presumably if I choose to ignore, I can just use the drone parts for my own devices. Where am I supposed to take them anyway? Oh, right there, I have time to do that. Fine, let's see what reward we get for doing this. It may also be a trap. That's kind of like the double ones result of the event. You arrive at the location, you're supposed to deliver the drone parts. See, this is when you press continue and you either get the bad outcome or the good outcome. We got the good outcome! Although they don't offer us very much, so we do have the choice of keeping the drone parts, which are actually probably worth more than 29 scrap. That said, I'll play nice and I'll accept the paltry payment. So there we go. And now I can also do another bar of power and upgrade my engines yet again. If you watch my evasion up there, it's currently 15. Put a bit of power in, got 5 more percent. 20%, 1 in every 5 shots missed. It's not terrible. And we'll go to the exit of this sector and we'll have a look at what randomised sector map I got given. And we got no event. Oh, we did get an event. A nearby space station hails you. Greetings, your arrival is most fortuitous. We recently came across some extra drones. If you have some fuel, perhaps we can make a deal. 2 drones for 2 fuel. Yeah, okay. I accept that deal. We'll go to the next sector. So this is also randomised. There is also new systems. There's abandoned systems. There's rebel fortified systems. In fact, maybe I can find some. Hang on. Unidentified host. Oh, they're unidentified until we get closer. There are new sector types. That's all I can say at this point. Unfortunately, we've been given two of the basic ones. We've been given one controlled by the Zoltan race. They're a bit like Dr. Manhattan. And then we've also got a civilian sector, which is basically easy mode. You're far less likely to run into powerful rebel ships, for example. Nebula, you slow down the rebel fleet, but you also have more chance of getting environmental hazards that are a pain in the ass to deal with. And then obviously Red, you'll probably run into more hostiles in general, but you will also then get more scrap. So potentially you could do better by going into hostile areas. It's kind of a give or take. You have to decide what your best bet is. We'll go to the civilian sector just to see. And I will kind of start wrapping up here. This isn't your traditional let's look at, as I was saying, because it's certainly not a first impressions, and it's certainly not a game that's new. FTL is 2 years old and I still love it despite that, and I have been dragged back into it from an addiction standpoint just by the simple little things that they've added in the free content patch in the form of the Advanced Edition. If you've never played FTL before, this is almost the best possible time to jump back into it, or not back into it, to jump into it, because there's a lot more here that's made the game just flat out better. 99% better. As I was saying, I don't like mind control as a subsystem, but that's just me. What is this? A small platform orbits near this beacon. It looks like a fueling station of some sort and is cheerily broadcasting reasonable prices in a spectrum of frequencies and languages. Dock with the refuel. This is a trap, I bet. Let's dock anyway. God damn it! The refueling station welcomes you into one of its berths, and as you hail them, there's an explosion from your engine room. While assessing the damage, you detect a pirate ship closing fast. So it did 3 damage to my hull. It also took 1 bar off my engines, and obviously I'm about to be attacked. I was kind of hoping to run into at least one ship with a teleporter to show off some of the mechanics you can use when your ship gets invaded by enemy soldiers. Especially when you're playing as the Lanius, because you can just drain most of your ship of oxygen and watch them slowly asphyxiate to death. Starve of oxygen was what I was going to say, but then it turned to asphyxiation. As things often do. Right, so they don't have any drones or anything, so what we're going to do is fire a hack at their shield. Oh, they've got a clone bay as well, so if I kill any of their crew, they'll just respawn. And then we're going to try and ion stun their weapons. We're also going to try and take their weapons offline. Oh, hang on a minute, it did actually take my engines fully offline, so there's no point in having a pilot right now because my evasion's going to be 0 anyway. He'll go and help repair the engines. Although I just realised there's no oxygen in that room, so that's a very bad idea. There, he helped a little bit. Ow. Let's do the hack. Ion Stunner will get through them. Stun whoever's in there as well as take the weapons offline. Excellent. By the way, once you place a hack, you can't replace it. Let's take off the shield. Even though I have been hacking it, I just want to blow up at this point. And that is my engines back to full power. Excellent. Yeah, this isn't going to be much of a challenge now, I don't think. We're going to hack their shields again. And their weapons will get stunned yet again. No, it won't because it missed, but whatever. Ah, they're trying to run. Right, we're going to stun their cockpit and we're going to shoot at their engines. Try and take them out to stop them leaving, or at least delay them long enough to kill them. Engines have been destroyed. FTL jump has been delayed. Excellent, they're going to go down. There we go. Got a reasonable reward for doing that. Why couldn't we then scrap the station or something? That would have been nice. Anyway, yeah, this has been a look at Faster Than Light, recently upgraded to have Advanced Edition content for free. And I highly suggest checking out the link in the description box below to find it on Steam. Massively good game. One of my favourites on Steam. I love playing it, and the Advanced Edition has just rekindled that love. I've been playing it a lot. I get frustrated at it sometimes because of bad luck in the RNG, etc. But that doesn't change the fact it is a reasonably priced, incredibly addictive game that's just a lot of fun. And if you want, go check out the iPad version as well. I've heard that it's good, but I can't speak from personal experience in this case. I do have an iPad, I just haven't bought it on there. Maybe I will, although my iPad has never mind, I'm not talking about my iPad and its problems and hardware issues I've been having with it lately. Thank you for watching. By all means, consider showing this video to anybody on the fence about FTL. Highly recommended. And now I'm going to go. My name has been Flik. Thank you for watching, and ta-ta for now.